Hello, Geek Pantsers. It's I, Ken Levitsky, and I'm going to share something on YouTube right now with all of you. It is the first episode of Ken Likes Comics. It's my new podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And generally, it's just going to be podcast only. But today, since the topic is a new company called AWA Studios, Upshot Studios, artists, writers, and artisans, I'm crazy excited about this. I decided to do a little YouTube thing and throw it up here so you could all listen to it if you're not aware that we also do podcasts. So enjoy. Let me know down below what you thought about this. Like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm Ken. I like comics. Here we go. Hello, everybody. I'm Ken Levitsky, and welcome to Ken Likes Comics, a podcast that concentrates on the big stories and the big releases that are coming up that I'm thoroughly excited about. Most episodes will be independent focused, but I may diverge from time to time to talk about the big two. Each episode will highlight a brand new topic, and today that topic is AWA Studios, also Upshot Studios. AWA Studios, this is really exciting. It is a group made up of Marvel alumni. I'm really excited about this launch. I've been talking about it. If you follow me on any of my social media pages, I've been talking about it quite a bit lately. I've been raving, going nuts about this. AWA Studios was founded in November 2018. by Axel Alonso, former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, and Bill Jemas, who I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe he was the president or the publisher or something in the early 2000s. These dudes were they were in Marvel, they were running Marvel when Ultimate Marvel kicked off. And Grant Morrison was there with New X-Men and, Marvel Knights and Bendis on Daredevil, and they did a lot of big things. They did a lot of huge things in the 2000s. They pulled Marvel out of a dark age. So to see AWA Studios, which is artists, writers, and artisans, to see this come to life, it has me incredibly excited. Looks like Alonso and Jemas will be the chief creative officers. Meanwhile, a man named Jonathan Miller, I'm not quite sure who this dude is, but he's going to be the senior council member of AWA Studios. Then they have a creative council, and now, just wait for this. The creative council is J. Michael Straczynski. That's right, J. Michael Straczynski, who has written so many fantastic comic books, Amazing Spider-Man, Thor, Supreme Power, Superman, Wonder Woman. This dude has been writing it all. This man wrote Real Ghostbusters, and he worked on Babylon 5, or created it. This is cool. So he's the first name on the list. Then we got Reginald Hudlin. Most people are going to remember this dude from Black Panther. He made Black Panther relevant again before Marvel Studios even existed. So he's on there. That's pretty cool. Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis is... This man writes some crazy, wacky shit, but you know what? It is usually fantastic. I think most are going to recognize him from The Punisher. He did The Punisher and The Punisher Max with Alonso. So, I see Alonso pulling over a lot of the guys he worked with at Marvel during the time. Some of the guys that really just reinvented the industry during their tenure at Marvel. Next on the list is Greg Hurwitz. You know what? I didn't really read a whole lot of this. I was kind of falling out of comics there, especially falling out of Marvel Comics when Greg Hurwitz became a name that was familiar with a lot of people. I remember reading a couple of Wolverine one-shots or miniseries that he did, and I don't believe I really cared for them. So I don't know too much yet about this, but hey, you know what? More the merrier on this creative council. Margaret Stohl. I'm not familiar with Margaret Stohl, unfortunately. I should probably take a look, see what kind of work Margaret Stohl has done. All right, so while I'm looking at Margaret Stoll, let me just hop on over to the final name on the list. And the final name on the list is Frank Cho. And everyone is going to know Frank Cho because Frank Cho draws some of the most beautiful women in comic books, no doubt about it. But he's also a great storyteller. I read a lot of his stuff back in the day. He did a nice little run on Wolverine, Savage Wolverine. What was it called? I think it was called Savage Wolverine. I think he had an arc on that I really enjoyed. I'm a Wolverine fan, you know. Whether I still follow the big two or not, Wolverine's always going to be my dude. So, okay, Margaret Stoll is a novelist. She created Beautiful Creatures. Now, Beautiful Creatures, I know that was a movie that tanked pretty bad at the box office, but the book series is supposed to be excellent. I've never read them, but they're big hits. So Margaret Stoll's on there. And you know what? It's great to have a woman's voice on this council. So very, very cool stuff. So, anyways, AWA Studios, they got this imprint called Upshot Studios, and this is basically the imprint that's going to be kicking off everything come March. I believe they got 4 launch titles. I'm going to get to those in a minute. But Upshot Studios, I'm not sure what the difference is, but it looks like this is going to be the main imprint. It looks like this is where most of the books are going to be coming out of, which is cool. I'm fine with that. Have as many imprints as you want, because good stories are good stories. I really don't care where they're coming from. Now, okay, I'm going to hop over to the solicitations for March for AWA Studios. We're going to talk about those for a moment. But before I get to that, let me just say Upshot Now number 0. It's a one-shot. It's a one-shot printed in black and white, and it features full issues, full comic book issues of some of the launch titles here, plus sneak peeks at upcoming titles. Upshot Now number 0. You can get it right now from Midtown Comics. I think it's only $10. I got a copy. I read it. It's awesome. I can't wait to reread all these issues with all the final inks and colors and everything. But trust me, I do believe that this imprint is going to kick off with a team like this behind it. It'd be crazy for this not to take off. And these days, what taking off usually means is Hollywood picking up these comic books and turning them into movies. If these become movies, these comic books are going to skyrocket in value. And you know what the first thing that these stories appeared in? Upshot Now. So I highly recommend you going to Midtown Comics, paying the $10, getting Upshot Now, seeing what this imprint and this publisher is all about, and then holding on to it, because I think that I feel like it in my heart, deep in my heart, I feel like this will be worth something in the future. But now we're going to go to March solicitations. March 2020, all the launch titles launch March 18th. So, I mean, it's going to be an expensive day if you're like me and you plan to pick all these up. But they all are kicking off March 18th. First on the list is The Resistance. Now, The Resistance is written by Straczynski. Art is going to be done by Mike Deodato Jr. Now, he's also another Marvel dude. He's done so many amazing stories over time. I was a huge fan of him on The Incredible Hulk when Bruce Jones was writing it. He's an amazing artist. I just finished reading his Berserker Unbound from Dark Horse Comics. That was written by Jeff Lemire. That was a great story. But this right here, The Resistance, is going to come with 2 covers. The first cover, the main cover, is going to be by Raza. And then the second cover, cover B, is going to be a black and white variant by Deodato Jr. Colorist on this is going to be Frank Martin. Letterer is going to be Sal Cipriano. Now, letterer, very rarely do you look at solicitations and they list the letterer. That's cool. Right off the bat, I like how they're listing everybody. Like, this is not just a 1 or 2 man job. There is a crew behind this. So, very cool. They give you the rating here. The rating on The Resistance is going to be teen. And now this is your solicitation. J. Michael Straczynski and Mike Deodato Jr.'s The Resistance is the launch of our new shared universe. It's the first of many titles that will introduce new heroes and villains created and rooted in the 21st century. Whew. I read this. It was so good. I can't wait to reread it. Archangel 8 number 1. Here's your second one here. And another thing. I like the connected universe thing, but I'm not really sure if all these are going to be in the same universe or if that is just going to be the beginning of a connected universe that other books will eventually connect to. But what I like is that all these titles are very different in genre. So, I mean, there is something here for everybody. Archangel 8 number 1. It's coming out March 18th as well. Michael Moresi I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. He is the writer. The artist is the great C.P. Smith. Colorist, Snakebite Cortez. Wow, that is a wicked name. Cover will be by Jeff DeCal. Letterer, Sal Cipriano again. This time we're rated mature. In a world beyond the sight of mortals, heaven and hell wage war for the souls of mankind. Principal among God's legion are 7 archangels, written about in religious texts for millennia. But there is an 8th archangel, known only from passing allusions in Apocrypha, probably pronouncing that wrong, who operates under a different code. Fighting without God's sanction, he faces the enemy of his own terms and shows just how bad good can be. Very cool. Red Border number 1. Now, I'm pretty excited for this one. This one sounds great. It looks great. It has an awesome cover by Tim Bradstreet. Red cover number 1. Writer Jason Starr. Artist Will Conrad. Colorist Ivan Nunes. Letterer Sal Cipriano. It looks like, I'm going to just hop ahead here for a moment. Yeah, Sal Cipriano. He's the letterer on all 4 books. Busy man. Audience mature. When a young middle-class Mexican couple targeted for death flee across the border into Texas, they wander into a house of horrors beyond their wildest imagination. Rescued by a mysterious local who takes them to the safety of his family's ranch, the company soon realize their hosts have more than just skeletons in their closet, and the army of assassins on their trail might be the least of their problems. This sounds like a horror story. I love my horror. I'm definitely reading this one. And then the 4th and final book launching on March 18th from AWA and Upshot, Hotell, with 2 L's because it's like hell. Get it? Yeah. Writer, John Lees. Artist, Delabor Talagi. Colorist, Lee Lowridge. Cover, Care Andrews. Beautiful cover. And letterer, good old Sal. Hey, Sal. Audience mature. We got another mature rated one. So we got 3 mature books and 1 teen rated book, and that is The Resistance. You won't find it on any map, but if you happen to be driving down Route 66 late at night and you're truly desperate for shelter, sanctuary, or secrecy, you might see a battered sign on the side of the road. The Guts, no, that's a C. I don't know why I'm saying Guts. The Pirat Courts Hotel, where many check in, but few check out. There you have it. Those are your 4 launch titles from AWA. March 18th, like I said. Now, they got a really cool thing going on for retailers right now. Let me pull this up for a moment. I sent this to my local comic book store, Comics Plus Music Exchange, immediately as soon as I saw it, because I wanted him to be aware of this. I don't know if he's going to go ahead with it. I hope he does, because I plan to order all these books from him. But the AWA, they have a retailer council. If you sign up for the AWA Retailer Council today, you'll get $250 credit towards all AWA titles. And I asked them about this, and it was for Canada and the US. So, very cool. If you're a retailer, a comic book retailer, and you like the sound of these 4 books, visit awastudios.net/retailers for more information. Go check that out. Very, very cool stuff. Like I said, I am so damn excited for this. March 18th, you can fully expect me to cover these books on our Geek Pants YouTube channel once they arrive. All right, everyone, that's all for today. Thanks so much for tuning in for the first episode of Ken Likes Comics. That's me, and I'm liking the comics. This podcast will not be set to any type of schedule, but you can keep track of new episodes and all of the other great Geek Pants content on our social media pages at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're an independent comic book creator and you'd like to have your book mentioned on the show, please email me, ken@geekpantsmedia.com, with Ken Likes Comics in the subject line. That also goes for all individuals running campaigns right now through crowdfunding sites. If you're kicking off a comic book, you're on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever, you got a comic book, let us know. And I want to give your book a shout out on an upcoming show. All right? I'm all down for supporting indie. Okay, everyone, until next time, I will see you in the funny pages.